quietly.
I can't go to jail.
Nice job, Miss Starr.
Yesterday we had a tip he was in Hong Kong.
He's sick. He was at the airport. His plane was met by an ambulance.
If you say so. Meanwhile, that was Roger Randall's secretary. He's about to go on the air with a special bulletin, and he wants you to see it.
We interrupt this program to bring you a special bulletin.
Good afternoon. This is Roger Randall with an exclusive report. Billionaire recluse Lance O'Toole has just been admitted to Los Angeles City Hospital, where I have learned he is suffering from a serious but still undiagnosed ailment. O'Toole is considered to be one of the richest men in the world. He made his money in land and is said to control enormous properties, particularly in South America. More later. This is Roger Randall.
Looks like the early worm got the bird.
Don't worry. The story isn't over yet.
Yeah, you'd really like to know, wouldn't you?
I would like to help you.
Who are you? Tell me the truth. This doesn't fool me for 1 minute.
Mr. O'Toole, Dr. Weimar is here to see you.
Dr. Weimar.
Dr. Franz Weimar, Mr. O'Toole. Sister, if you will, excuse us. Thank you. So, Mr. O'Toole, if you'll tell me Precisely what your symptoms are.
Who are you? Are you on the staff here?
I am a specialist in rare diseases, Mr. O'Toole.
Very well, specialist. You tell me. What's wrong with me?
Oh, Mr. O'Toole, I have to know more about you.
Have to know more. Very well. Macumba.
Macumba? Do you mean voodoo, Mr. O'Toole? $5 million.
Or I'd die. 6 months ago, I received a letter from Dax Leander.
Ah, the sculptor.
Anyway, I was fool enough to allow him to make a statue of me. He even insisted on real hair and fingernail clippings.
That is bizarre.
Ever since, it's been agony, and I know why. That statue's being used as an effigy. Unless I pay $5 million.
Mr. O'Toole.
Tell me something, specialist. Doctor, what can you do for me?
This is a gag, right? You're kidding.
AJ, I was there. I heard him. I saw him.
Lance O'Toole.
In the flesh. With all that flesh, it had to be O'Toole.
And he believes in this voodoo?
He believes in his pain. I saw his pain. He's in agony.
Does he have any notion of who might be responsible?
You don't get to be a billionaire without leaving a trail of enemies.
Watch it. The boss is a billionaire.
AJ, run the story.
We could look pretty foolish. Lance O'Toole being needled to death.
It's not going to be a secret for long.
Yeah. Gotcha. Roger Randall, bulletin time.
We interrupt this program for a special news update.
This is Roger Randall with an exclusive report. Billionaire Lance O'Toole has just been threatened with death by a band of voodoo worshippers. Unless he agrees to pay the sum of $5 million by 9 o'clock this evening, O'Toole will die. And much of O'Toole's land holdings lie in an area heavily populated by voodoo believers. Keep tuned for more news.
I guess Roger doesn't mind looking foolish.
Copy. Might as well print it, just in case someone wasn't watching the tooth.
AJ.
Brenda, I thought you were ahead of Roger on this one.
So did I. I wonder how he found out. Well, don't worry, AJ. There's more than one way to make a man talk. Here we are.
How come?
Why not?
Oh, Brenda.
Brenda, been after you since the first time we covered a story together, and I struck out every time. How come all of a sudden?
You may not believe this, but I just couldn't hold out any longer. Oh, I fought against it. But I finally said to myself, Brenda, do it. Ask Roger to dinner.
How about Basil, the mystery man? And his strange melody? And the black orchids? And the torch you're still carrying for him? When's the last time you heard from him?
Almost 2 years ago.
Brenda.
Roger, it's not easy waiting for a man.
No. Not easy waiting for anybody. We still do it, don't we? Got a notion where he might be?
Last word I had was Brazil.
Well, that is a coincidence. I mean, the O'Toole story. Well, that's why I'm here, isn't it? I mean, that's why the music and the candles and that dress you're wearing. That dress.
I guess I'm not much of a seductress, am I?
I don't know. I'd go for you in overalls.
I'll change.
Oh, wait a minute. You know, you do anything for a story. You're willing to trade your favors to find out about O'Toole.
Trade my favors? Roger, are you sure you're on TV? That sounds like a line out of an old movie.
Don't change the subject. Get back to the favors.
Okay. Do we have a deal?
Oh, Brenda, you're being unfair. I'll do it in a minute.
Take your time. Take your time.
You know, you are forgetting one thing. I'm a newsman. Newsman doesn't reveal his sources.
I didn't quite get that. You're a what?
I'm sorry. I'm a TV star.
Oh, and a good one. Like Marcus Welby, Mary Tyler Moore, Lassie. Just another pretty face.
Well, your face is almost as pretty as mine. Maybe you ought to be on TV, too. Tell you what. Say the word. I'll get you my news team, just like that.
Roger, I'm a reporter. I look for the news. I investigate it. I write it. You read it.
Oh, is that a fact? Well, who found out about O'Toole, huh?
We both did. Only you found out a little faster.
So did the public.
Okay, so you're terrific with bulletins. But I'm more interested in stories. Stories in depth. Like, how does someone like O'Toole come to believe that he can really be harmed by voodoo?
Oh, which reminds me, I hate to rub it in, but do you mind if I turn on the tube?
Not another bulletin.
Yeah, I taped it before I came over.
Well, it can't be much. That was an hour ago.
Oh, how'd it held till prime time?
Oh, you're cute. Real cute.
Mm-hmm. This is Roger Randall with an exclusive report. Billionaire recluse Lance O'Toole has died at City Hospital. As I had reported in an earlier bulletin, the famed recluse had been threatened with a voodoo curse. His cause of death is still unknown. More later. This is Roger Randall. Now, is that the work or just another pretty face, huh?
Brenda, Lance O'Toole is dead, and that story is dead, so forget it.
A.J. O'Toole is dead because...
The hospital released its report. Death due to natural causes.
Who signed the death report? That mysterious so-called specialist, Dr. Franz Weimar. And he's disappeared. A.J., I'm gonna find him.
How do you plan to do that? Keep your TV on all day and wait for one of Randall's bulletins?
You shouldn't have said that.
Okay. But I'm telling you to forget the story.
A.J., you're not giving me a chance. Here's a file on Dax Leander, and I just talked to the airport. Private plane took off an hour ago with O'Toole's body for Brazil.
Didn't waste much time. What about Weimar?
Hospital didn't call him in on the case. They figured O'Toole did.
Weimar's disappeared, and so has Dax Leander. There's gotta be a connection.
Now, look, I'm serious. There is no story here. A man died, and that's all.
Leander had a thing with Kentucky Smith. I'd forgotten about that.
Brenda, there is no story.
That's for me to find out, and you to read about.
Mr. Lassiter, sorry. I tried. But you know Brenda.
Now, Kentucky, don't move, sweetheart. Don't even breathe. I just need another few seconds. I'll break your neck if you blink. Good. Hold it. Got it.
Brenda, I'm scared.
AJ? Well, I got a story nobody else has got. What? No, I'm fine. Never mind. Do you want it or do I have to rewrite? Okay. America's #1 model, Kentucky Smith, was found brutally murdered late this afternoon. The body was found at 19706 Pacific Coast Highway by a close friend, Brenda Starr.
Bill, when you're finished, come on into the kitchen.
Brenda,
Hi, Roger.
you all right?
Yes.
Look, I'm sorry. It's my job.
What?
You found her. You're part of the story now.
Roger, please. She was a friend of mine.
Brenda, whoever killed O'Toole killed Kentucky Smith.
That's a brilliant deduction.
Look, will you stay out of it and leave it to the police?
Roger!
Why was she killed, Brenda? Was it because she talked to you?
Brazil. All it says is stop me.
It's from Dax Leander.
Stop me. Well, that could mean anything.
I'm gonna find out just what it does mean. There's a plane leaving for Rio in the morning.
Now, it's leaving without you.
AJ, there's a connection between Kentucky and O'Toole.
Forget about O'Toole.
AJ, Kentucky was a friend of mine. In a way, I'm responsible for what happened to her.
I understand that. I know how you feel. But
Then don't tell me to forget about O'Toole. It's the same story.
I am telling you.
You
It doesn't cost me my life.
Bates, get the doctor!
Mr. Lassiter!
It's all right. You go. He'll take care of me.
Dr. Weimar!
Miss Starr.
How do you know who I
Mister, I warn you, keep out of this.
Well, what do you think, hey? Too much south of the border? You'll knock those gauchos dead. Going to Brazil. Gauchos live in Argentina. They'll move, believe me. Brenda, I'm scared about this whole thing. Look, I know there's a story in it, but...
There's more than just a story, Hank. Kentucky trusted me, and it cost her her life. I can't bring her back, but I can try to find out who killed her.
$20 million. Imagine having that on your hands.
Unfortunately, it's not for shopping.
Everyone comes to Rio.
Oh, one other thing. I was told...
Please. The combination has just been changed. The envelope is sealed.
Ciao. Carlos, you've been so kind, but I have
Stop in Miedo. We can get rooms there and stay the night.
You've been here before?
This was my land.
Don't you own it now?
Brenda, this is dangerous for you.
You do believe, don't you?
My death. That was really quite simple. But of course, I had a sympathetic physician.
I was quite pleased to help.
Mr. O'Toole, you blackmailed Lassiter and the others. When they heard you died, they were only too glad to pay the ransom. But I don't get any of this. You've got a fortune. Why the blackmail?
Because, my dear, I have a plan. A somewhat spectacular scheme.
But you're a billionaire.
But you're forgetting something. I have to live in my capital now. I have no income. I'm dead.
But if you're dead, what good's your money? You can't spend it. You can't travel. You can't even enjoy the power that other wealthy men have.
That's right. Good. Go on.
However, if you're as psychotic as I think you are...
That's a trifle harsh, isn't it? Come along. I'll show you around. Weimar, you were interested in my library, weren't you?
Yes.
Why don't you browse? Now, you were saying.
A dead man with all the money in the world cut off from society.
But still so useful. Here, my dear. Take a look at his latest work of art.
Basil! How did you know about Basil?
Don't underestimate me. There's nothing about you I don't know. Yes, we mustn't harm Basil, must we?
Carlos.
Brenda, forgive me for what has happened.
O'Toole says he owns you.
O'Toole is our leader, our master.
Well, how did it happen? How did he do this to you? To Dax, to Louisa? She's a priestess.
She hates O'Toole, and she has the power to fight him. But she loves Dax, and O'Toole owns him.
I don't understand about Louisa. If she loves Dax and she can help him, why doesn't she do something?
Which part?
Come on, this. Come on, this way. Come on, it's your only chance.
Why are you helping me? Well, what happened to your oxen?
Later, later.
I admire your bravado, my dear, but so foolish. Poor Carlos. I'd hoped he'd assist me at the ceremony tonight, but now... And here's the famous Dr. Weimar.
Roger!
With a special bulletin. All right, Mr. O'Toole. How long have you known?
Since the very beginning. However, you were extremely useful, so I allowed you to continue the masquerade. You're still useful. You can take over for Carlos at the nuptials this evening.
Me? The best man?
So to speak. As a specialist, I'm sure you'll recall that voodoo marriages have somewhat unique customs. Immediately after the ceremony, the best man is sacrificed. Levanta la casa.
Well, here we are.
Here we are. As I remember, we were saying the same thing just the other night. Dr. Weimar.
Roger, I didn't know you had it in you.
Oh, boy, you picked a swell time to realize I'm not just another pretty face.
How did you get to O'Toole?
A tip. Same as you. Ah, maybe I can hock the gold in his tooth.
They figured you were O'Toole's doctor. That's how you got to Lassiter and the others.
Yeah, that's what he wanted him to think. Clinched the whole deal for him.
But why'd you do it? I mean, he's a maniac. He's not going to stop with billionaires. He's after governments.
You want to know why? You want the truth? I did it for you.
For me?
Yeah. I guess I wanted to prove to you I was really a reporter.
Oh, Roger.
Yeah, dumb.
But nice. But dumb.
Vamos.
Meanwhile, what are we going to do?
Well, I do know this. I've got to make O'Toole believe I'm ready to go along with him on this whole thing. Otherwise, we're sunk.
Well, baby, you don't have much time.
You're telling me.
Oh, what a story. And nobody's ever going to know.
Vambora, vambora. It's very becoming.
It is nice, isn't it? Come in.
Lovely, my dear.
I'll be back later.
Brenda, I know things have happened rather suddenly for you.
I like surprises. If you don't mind, I'll change.
Well, if there's anything I can do to make you feel more comfortable, just...
Yes. Roger Randall, you weren't serious about sacrificing him, were you?
No. My little joke. Does he mean anything to you?
He's a friend and a good reporter.
I suppose you'll miss that, won't you? The excitement, variety of your life.
Not really. It was fascinating. I won't deny it, but I'll manage.
Brenda, you won't regret it. I can offer you every luxury in the world.
What girl can turn down an offer like that?
Ravishing. But you'll forgive me if I'm just a trifle suspicious about your sudden change of mood.
Let me tell you something. What I really am is realistic. I admit I tried to get away, but now I know that's not possible. And I also know you're quite capable of killing someone who's been very important to me. So I really have no choice, have I?
No. No, you don't. Till tonight.
Brenda? Where are you?
Hi, Roger.
Oh. How did it go with O'Toole? I'm sorry, I lost my head.
Well, I could be wrong, but I think I persuaded him I'm ready to become his mate. Roger, for the first time in my life, I know what it means, a fate worse than death.
What are you doing?
I gotta get to Louisa and Dax.
How? The place is surrounded.
I think I found a way. Come on. O'Toole really believes in voodoo. That's the only chance we have to stop him. Look, you stay here and keep that door locked in case Hatchet Face comes back to check on me. Roger, if we make it back, the story's mine exclusively.
Oh, that chance.
Oh, you're gonna hate the smell of burning flesh, especially if it's your own.
Okay, you win.
Roger, if I don't make it back, you can have the story.
Brenda, will you be careful?
But it is useless.
You think Dax is yours?
He is mine.
Is this the way you want him?
All that matters is that he is here with me. He will always be with me.
Like this? He's not a man, he's a thing. I thought you loved him.
I do love him.
No. If a woman loves a man, she wants him whole, strong. She wants him to love her. Is that it? You're afraid if Dax should become himself again, he'd have nothing to do with you.
Louisa, this is no way to hold on to a man. Look at him. And you won't hold on to him anyway. When O'Toole is finished with him, when Dax is no longer useful, he'll kill him. Just like he killed Kentucky and Carlos. And he'll keep on killing.
There's nothing we can do.
Yes, there is. You've...
Where am I? What's happened?
Dax,
Brenda? What are you doing here?
there's no time to explain. There's something you've got to do now.
But how'd you find me here?
Kentucky.
I told him not to get involved. How is she?
She's dead. I'm sorry.
What happened?
She was murdered. O'Toole.
He promised me. He swore he wouldn't hurt her. I'll kill him!
Dax, this is your chance to stop O'Toole before he can destroy anyone else. Louisa, at the wedding ceremony tonight, you're going to officiate as priestess.
Yes. Now look, this is what we've got to do.
Summoning the Orisha.
I wonder whose body she'll possess.
there can be no union. You have sinned.
You say?
You have used the power of Macumba to destroy. You must give up your power. You must leave this land.
This belongs to me.
If the sinner does not leave, he will be punished. The Orisha has spoken.
What are you doing?
You are no longer our leader. Go.
You belong to me. You all belong to me.
Stop! You'll kill him!
He killed Kentucky! Kentucky!
You were supposed to be here an hour ago.
Nice to see you again, too.
By the way, you're back on the payroll.
How do you know I want to be back on the payroll? Roger Randall's offered me a terrific job.
Lassiter's giving you a raise.
I'm back on the payroll.
There's nothing in here about Dax. I told you over the phone. He's staying in Brazil with Louisa.
Yeah, it's there. Just continued on page 20.
And what about the $20 million?
Well, Mr. Lassiter thought, what with economic conditions the way they are?
This is not the lead-in I gave you. Have you been rewriting me again?
Yeah, I've been rewriting you again. That stuff you called in was hysterical.
Is that a fact? And what do you call this? From deep in the heart of a teeming Brazilian jungle. Deep in the heart of a teeming...
What's wrong with teeming? That's colorful.
Oh, it's colorful, all right. We call it purple prose. H.A., have you ever considered writing for television? I can get you a job with Roger Randall.
Brenda.
It's great to be back, H.A.
Coming up next on Love Stories, Jacqueline Bisset is the only woman that can melt the heart of a ruthless leader. Part 1 of Napoleon and Josephine is next on Love Stories.
It's about giving you the confidence you'll need to hit the send button. Try H&R Block at home and get